I am going to be discussing what I plan to do with my Casper, both short term and long term, essentially giving you guys my bull market strategy. So if that sounds interesting, please make sure to leave a like on this video and also subscribe to my channel if you're new for much more Casper content. Also, if you're interested in my free guide to mastering gaming cryptos, make sure to check out that link in the description and sign up to gain access to that guide. So before we get into my PowerPoint that I've created, I think it's reasonable to just give a quick update on Casper and where we are at. Casper is currently trading at 11 cents as of the time I'm recording this video. It's at $2.6 billion in market cap, and it's currently trading around this kind of support level, you could say, between the 9 cents to the kind of 11 cents region, right? We've been trading in that level for a while. I expect us to start seeing a bounce at some point soon. And that next bounce, I think, could take us all the way up to potentially 30 to 40 cents. So I'm going to be essentially outlining my strategy with Casper. Now, the title is obviously when should you sell your Casper or when should you stop buying Casper? But this is really for you to decide. I'm not here to force you into decisions or push you into decisions. I want you to just listen to my perspective and then make your own well-guided decision, right? If you do want help and you do want a support group, a network of people in the same situation where you're looking to take profits on Casper in the next few years, then definitely come over to my Discord group. You can see that by joining my private community, which is in the description, and you're going to meet loads of like-minded investors, all with the same goal. So the first point I want to make is, are you holding long-term or are you holding short-term? Okay, I plan to do both, and I'll get into this a little bit later, but some people are going to simply cash out all of their Casper at the heights of this current bull run, which we are arguably in. Now, when would that be? That could be anywhere between maybe late 2024 all the way up till the end of 2025. And that would coincide with the 4-year cycle if we topped out at the end of 2025. Now, some people plan to sell zero Casper this bull run. I think both options aren't ideal because they don't provide balance. It's kind of like an all-in or all-out approach. What I prefer to do is have a more pragmatic approach. I'm going to be selling most of my Casper this bull run, but I will hold on to a small moon bag for literally 5+ years. I've locked it up in cold storage and I've completely and utterly forgotten about it. I don't even class it as my portfolio, really. I have some Casper and some Bitcoin in cold storage, and I am not going to touch them until at least 2030. And then the second point to decide when you should sell your Casper is, at what point did you enter Casper? Did you buy at less than 1 cent when I was discussing it on YouTube in 2022? I didn't buy at 1 cent or less, but I was discussing it, right? I was giving Casper some credit. Or did you buy at 3 cents like myself, where I maybe bought the vast majority of my bag at 3 cents? Or are you maybe a little bit later and you're buying around 10 to 15 cents as your average? These are all very important pieces of context to determine when the best suited entry point for you may be. Obviously, those who got in a bit earlier, they may be able to cash out earlier as well. Those who got in a bit later, you may be wanting to try and time the top a little bit more. So this type of context is also very important, as it sets the kind of ground rules for moving into more complex discussion. So let's just put some numbers to it. These are my Casper holdings roughly. 80% I plan to sell this bull market. Okay. This is obviously still in cold storage, but it's a separate cold storage wallet. I do recommend actually physically separating the Casper from your short term to your long term wallet and having them in completely and utterly different places. That way, you're not tempted to mix them together or sell all of it, or, it's much more easy for you to manage. I've tried to do things like this in the past where I say, this is my short-term bag, this is my long-term bag, but they're both in the same wallet and you just end up not sticking to it. So I would say if you can buy maybe 2 Tangems, that is the best route to do. I do have a discount code for Tangem. It's literally just my name, Archie. You can put it in at checkout and save some money. And then 20%, I plan to sell 2030 onwards. Okay. This is my long term bag. I'm not trying to time the market with this. I'm simply holding. If you bought Bitcoin in 2013 and you just simply held it up until this date, you would be in incredible, incredible profits. If you tried to time the peaks and the troughs, you probably wouldn't have made as much money if you simply would have just diamond handed it and held it for the long run. You can say the same about Ethereum in 2016. My point is, pretty much any of the top cryptos, if you held them on a 4, 5, 6, 7 year period, you're bound to be in profits for the good ones. Obviously, some of the worst ones, it's not as guaranteed, but I would consider Casper to be a future top 5 crypto. And for that reason, long term holding could be very rewarding. I would also like to add, timing the peaks and the troughs may seem a lot easier than it actually practically is. Many people believe that crypto is predictable. You've got the 4 year cycle, you simply buy the low and sell the high. Why isn't everyone multimillionaires? If it's that easy, everyone would have cashed out at the top in 2021 and everyone would have bought the bottom in 2022. But it simply isn't the case, right? People are emotional and they second guess things, and it just doesn't work out like that. You are very unlikely to time this cryptocurrency market. To add on top of that, how are you sure that the 4 year cycle is going to have long term validity? This is only a short time window that we're looking at. Bitcoin is a fairly new asset, and altcoins are even newer. The 4 year cycle could be completely out of the window in the next 2 to 3 years. And if that is the case, it's going to be even more unpredictable to time the cryptocurrency market. And that would add that long term holding is even more of a smarter approach. So I'm just trying to give you guys these kind of thought experiments. I'm not trying to push anything onto you guys too much because I don't want to be like that, but I'm just laying out my mindset, the things that I'm thinking on a day to day basis, so that you can maybe think in a similar manner, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below if you disagree. And then the beauty of obviously trying to time the bull run top is if you do it successfully, if you manage to maybe, 10x your Casper, 20x your Casper, 30x your Casper in the next year or so, you've got a lot more capital to then buy in the dips when it comes back down in the bear market. So let's say that Casper goes to $3 and you make a 30x on your Casper from now. And let's say you only put in $10,000, you turn your 10,000 into $300,000. You could now buy up all of that Casper in the lows of the bear market with $300,000 rather than holding your 10,000 all the way up to 300,000 and then maybe all the way back down to 100,000, right? That is how the crypto market works. So if you can accurately time the market to an extent, it's going to be extremely lucrative. So yeah, I plan to do that. Might not be the best for everyone, but I would definitely say, taking profits on the way up, it's relatively easy. Trying to time the exact top is very difficult. So a balanced, nuanced approach is the key to success in cryptocurrency. So with my long-term Casper bag, the 20% which I plan to hold for many years, I am planning to just keep buying this price agnostic. So the title of the video is when should you stop buying Casper? My long-term bag, I'm not going to stop buying it. I'm just going to keep buying all the way up until probably 2030, right? That's my long-term bag. Now, of course, if Casper's on a big red day, I'm going to buy even more. So it's not completely price agnostic, but it's almost price agnostic, right? And then with my short-term bag, again, the majority of my Casper holdings, I plan to stop buying into my short-term bag around 20 to 50 cents for Casper. So that's probably going to be quite soon. Essentially, this year, I'll probably stop buying into my short-term bag, aiming to cash most of that out around $1 to $5 in price. Again, we don't know exactly when it's going to be, but I would expect that to be somewhere in 2025. So hopefully that laid out the question of when should you stop buying Casper. I've had a few people ask me this in the comments of my videos, so I thought this video was a reasonable thing to do to address it. Also, definitely make sure to go and check out my private community. People are making a ton of money in this group. If you want to talk Casper, there's an entire chat room dedicated towards Casper. We have voice calls almost every day. We talk Bitcoin, we talk Casper, and we talk low cap gems as well. I've got a very good track record when it comes to low cap gems, particularly AI and gaming cryptos. My full track record is available on my YouTube channel. You can literally go back to the bottom of the bear market and see the projects I was talking about on a day-to-day basis. And I'm sure in 1 year's time, you're going to go back and look at some of the projects I'm talking about now, and they are going to be up maybe 50x or 100x. So make sure you guys are in this group. I recommend just joining the VIP Plus, checking it out for a month, getting your value, and I'm sure you're going to want to continue paying and then potentially move on to a lifetime membership. For those of you who want more private one-to-one mentorship, you want to talk to me on a much more regular basis, privately direct message me, we can exchange voice messages and things like that, then go for the mentor tier. This is going to be the best one for those looking to make multi-millions this bull run. But for the vast majority of you, the VIP Plus tier is going to be the best one for you. I appreciate you all so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Goodbye.